like I'm channeling like major she-wolf energy right now. I don't know who told my hair to be this wild, but whatever. You know me, I'm gonna rock and roll with it. Anyway, happy new moon in Sagittarius. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful night. Hope you're doing whatever rituals it is that makes you feel good, kind of brings in your manifestations, your abundance, your prosperity, all the beautiful things. Also, tomorrow is winter solstice, the longest night. Yes, the long night. We love that. We love that. Very much so. I'm one of those people who I love when it gets dark at like 5 p.m. I told y'all this is my prime. Seasonal depression does not know me during the fall and the winter. Summer though, I do get seasonal depression in the summer. Anyway, that is not the point of any of this. The point here is that you have two choices. Two choices. And I'm catching a vibe. Let me be serious for like 0.2 seconds. You can either love yourself and like hold yourself with compassion and grace, or you can be mean to yourself. You get to choose. We know the running theme of my messages in the last few months has been choose your fighter, choose your reality. At some point, and this actually ties into the reading that I did yesterday with the wasp. You know, sometimes life stings. The universe just does things. Some things happen by universal law, universal order that don't make sense to you, that don't need to make sense to you. You don't always need to know the bigger plan, the bigger picture, where this is heading, how this is going to pay off, or anything like that. You just need to understand that it's happening for a reason and it's happening for you, and to love yourself as it's happening, regardless of what the external circumstances look like. Could it be that maybe you're going through this because you need to learn to love yourself, because this is like one of your deepest fears, one of your deepest like triggers or what have you, right? Like this is how you fall into that like mental loop, the trauma vortex of the negative mental self-talk. And so you're going through this thing to give you a chance to like come out of that, to choose to come out of that. The only way that your external reality is going to appear differently is if you react differently to it, unfortunately. So you will unfortunately continue to be presented with similar things. It will increasingly get like worse and worse. You'll like be presented with similar things until you learn to react differently to it in order for you to then be presented with different circumstances. Does that make sense? Universal law, universal order. That's just by the book. That's how things happen. And you cannot evade that. And it is what it is. You can't rush this like rainbow and sunshine, like milk and cookies sort of time, right? Where everything is paradise. I'm hearing that song, Paradise. Right? Like you can't rush that. You can't rush change. Change is gonna come when it's meant to come. And change is coming, but like you have to meet spirit halfway. Like we know that. We know that. You can manifest all you want. You can praise your spirit all you want. You can venerate your ancestors, whatever deities that you pray to, subscribe to, whatever religion, any and all of that, right? You then still have to do the work here in the 3D, in the tangible world, within your own vessel, in order for change to actually like manifest here. It's happening in the quantum. So what are you doing here to bring it to the physical, right? To the 3D. It's being like, the potential is there, but you have to bring it to form, or you have to help bring it to form at least, right? And that requires you, do you see it? And let me not get distracted. That requires you to like focus on the mundane right now, focus on how you need to clean up your life, focus on the areas in which you need to tidy up your messes. Again, whether that is your mental thought process, whether that is your love life, whatever that looks like for you. But I am getting a huge thing of this just being in general, like more of a self-love thing, more of holding yourself with compassion and grace, and understanding that like you can transcend amidst the everyday, as in there's magic to be found in every single moment of every single second of every single day, even if you do not think that there is. If you don't think that there is, I challenge you to try to find some sort of silver lining in that given moment, even if it seems like the most impossible thing ever. Sometimes for me, the most positive, gratuitous thing I can do in that moment is to go, well, at least I'm not reacting poorly. I'm so thankful that I'm not reacting in a way that I used to, or I'm so thankful that I even have the mind to sit here and be like, you see what I'm saying? It's like these smallest things. You're sending that energy out into the universe, and it helps you. Like, it really helps you. And sometimes you need to sarcastically say some shit. Like, I'm so grateful that I got my ass up today. I washed my ass. I went for a walk. Like the simple stuff, taking care of yourself. And some people struggle with that, especially with mental disorders and autoimmune conditions, chronic illnesses, like just everyday life, right? We live in, most of my audience is in America, so like, you know, living in the United States, like life gets rough, right, for people, and so it's like if the only good thing, the only positive, life changing, life like anything that like creates momentum, if the only thing that was for you that day is that you brush your teeth and you fed yourself and you washed your ass, congratulations, because that's amazing, right? Not everyone like has the energy, the capacity to do that. Not everyone has the ability to do that, right? And this isn't to say that there are starving children wherever have you, and there are, but it's like you don't compare your pain in that sort of way that doesn't do anything. It's not the flex that you think it is. And I mean that in terms of like the way that you talk to yourself mentally. um I think in general we can tend to be very, very hard on ourselves and expect for ourselves to grow and have changed way quicker, and I don't think that we stop and realize just how much effort it takes energetically to go against the bounds of your own nature. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are literally defying gravity in that sense. You're rewiring your brain. You are defying your like future, your mold. Do you get what I mean? Like quantum physics, you're shifting things on a cellular level, which cells are like, tinier than that, right? Like, so that has to stack and stack and stack and build, right? Like Rome wasn't built in a day, sort of thing. That's the essence of that. This is not where this message was going to go. But here we are. Also, do we like my Christmas pajamas? I'm obsessed. I've been waiting to bust these out. The other thing, though, is in terms of not being so mean to yourself. It's okay that if you love someone and you're not with them, they broke up with you, you broke up with them, it didn't work, they ghosted you, they cheated on you, ran over your dog, like whatever, right? Like whatever it is, if you still love them, like it's okay. And you can't be mad at yourself for that. You can't shame yourself for that, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Shame yourself for human emotion? You're gonna shame yourself for feeling, for having the capacity to love, for daring to love someone. You can't guarantee that no one's gonna screw you over. That is kind of the point of love. You take a chance, right? And that is why we tend to fall into a trap of becoming very jaded when it comes to love, if it doesn't work out or if it ends poorly, and sort of close ourselves off to it. And that's kind of not the point. The entire point is, that you loved, that there was someone in your life who, regardless of the outcome, you shared a life with them, you shared yourself with them, you opened yourself up, to them, you opened yourself up to love, you gave love. And that's a beautiful thing in and of itself. Even if it doesn't work out, even if it ends horrifically, right? You tried, and it's better to focus on you, yourself. A big thing that I have had to really center myself in is that it doesn't matter whether or not the other person loved me. It doesn't matter how they felt about me. It matters that I loved them. And that's enough for me to know that I loved them. I did everything that I could. And not even in like a breaking your back sort of thing. It's just like, no, I showed up. I loved them. I was as authentic as I could be with the information that I was given at the time of, the depth at which I knew myself. Right? I was there. I loved and I lost. And that's okay. because life goes on. The carousel never stops turning. Do you know what I mean? It's just like love, loss, death, grief, pain is all a part of life. It's all a part of the human experience. Don't try to rob yourself of that. Don't try to shortchange yourself. Don't try to bypass it, right? Feel it. Feel it because you have the capacity to feel it. Right? It's such a beautiful thing. And I might lose some people here. I know that. But it's such a beautiful thing to experience guttural pain, right? Like pain that you think is going to break you. And it doesn't. It doesn't. You keep going. The world keeps spinning because you're resilient, because you're amazing, because that's just the point of life, right? Sometimes you swing and you miss. Life ebbs and flows, right? Doves and ravens fly the same, right? Was that? I was about to say a line from The View Between the Villages, Noah Khan, but I can't remember specifically, which is so funny because it's one of my favorite lines. For that to be one of my like most listened to songs last year, it's amazing that I've forgotten the lyrics to it, but it's like the car's in reverse, I'm gripping the wheel, I'm back between villages and everything's still, right? Like you're in the between space. Things don't look all that different, but you're different and things are different, but like external circumstances looks the same. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but anyway, let's get you a moon message card since it is a new moon. And then we're going to get you, this is kind of like something to surrender into. And then we're going to get what you should be focusing your energy on. And then we'll wrap it up. So Virgo is very significant. A time to give rather than take. How can you be of service to this world? I mean, and it makes sense because we're literally about to get like what it is that you should focus on. Okay, so we have a time to give rather than take, and communication is key. Both Virgo and Gemini. So Mercury is very significant right now. Your Mercury placement, you could be your mercurial, like Mercury ruled, right? That's Virgo rising or Gemini rising. Or just maybe Mercury is heavily aspected in your chart. So, time to give rather than take, and communication is key. So how is it that you're using your voice? How is it that you're being of service as it pertains to the way that you use your voice, the way that you're expressing yourself, showing up, speaking life into yourself and into others, that sort of thing, communicating your boundaries, your needs, your thoughts, your ideas, right? And again, communication within yourself, right? Your mental process. How is that? Like, how can you give more into that, pour more into that, pour more into yourself in that way? How can you set better boundaries with yourself in that way and, you know, with other people? So that's something to think about. And even further than that, what's this? That was Lemuria creating heaven on earth. And literally anytime I say the card, I think, ooh, heaven is a place on earth. And I mean, that's just like what it's like. Life is beautiful. Like every aspect of life is beautiful. There's beauty to be held. To you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. So let's see what you should be focusing your energy towards at this time. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, dreaming a world into being where like heaven is placed on earth, where you see the beauty in everything, you understand that there is beauty in everything, where you do things differently, where you show up differently, where you break the chains of the regimes that are in power, right? Like the structures that are in place on all aspects, right? Individually, like for yourself, the limitations that you've placed on yourself, the barriers that have been put on your family, the barriers that are, that you see within, your country, how you can contribute to that, and globally, right? Like just all of us collectively, how are you trying to birth a new age? Sagittarius is very expansive. It's ruled by Jupiter, right? That's philosophical, all of that. How are you activating the Sagittarius part in your natal chart as well, right? What planets are there? I almost said parents. Maybe someone's parent is Sagittarius. Who knows? But trust where it is that you are being led, and know, again, just like setting better boundaries. What do you need to say no to in order to birth this new age, this new life into being, this new world into being, this new you, right? Because at this time, this portal with this new moon in Sagittarius and the winter solstice in 2 days, is today the 19th or the 20th? I can't remember. You're birthing something that you've been working on since March. You're birthing something's being birthed through you at this time. You're somewhere where your guidance is needed, your knowledge is needed, your specific energy, right? Somewhere where you are uniquely qualified to communicate, to relay, information, change, ushering in a new dawn, right? This is for my light bringers. A new dawn, a new day, a new life, and I'm feeling good. Is that Michael Bublé? I don't think so. Let's also get you, hello, let's get you a tarot. Let's get you some tarot. This was interesting. I was just stopped in the middle of doing this reading, and I got a comment on something, and then I immediately noticed my energy changed. I now look like, I feel significantly like down, a little depleted. So watch out for a hidden evil eye. Cleanse your energy, cleanse your space, cleanse your vessel. Message for the collective, please and thank you, my spirit. Temperance. Temperance came out sideways, and I wanted to come out reverse. One more. We got way more. Okay. Temperance, 2 of Wands, 8 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 6. This is 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Watch out. Watch out. Oh, this is just another cute little heart opener message. Strength didn't come out, but you're gonna need to be like fierce, very fierce about the cycles that you're closing. And honestly, it's a lot of just what I've already said. Like, in order for you to enact change and be pushed forward, have this forward momentum, and allow yourself to be really cracked open, you're gonna have to find your own power, right? And move forward in that power, and have calmness of mind, rational, sound mind, and like emotional. I don't know if acuity is the right word, but we're gonna go with acuity because it came up. and be willing to work with others. Don't be afraid of partnerships, collaborations, and looking to see where you lack in that aspect, where you can kind of be more of a team player, how you can hone in on that and finesse that a little more, kind of like build better relationships, like pour more work, more dedication into that in regards to your own self, others, and how you coexist and collaborate with other people. And that's really what's going to help you open up your heart there. And I think a lot of that still has to do with kind of being mad at yourself for your capacity to love. So kind of trying to close yourself off from that, kind of becoming a bit jaded in that way. All right, we had just got Five of Pentacles, Chariot, Tower, ooh, Eight of Cups. Yeah, you can't hate yourself into forward momentum. You can't do that out of lack. We had Three of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and then Five of Pentacles. Crazy. And then we had the Chariot, Tower, and the Eight of Cups. That has to collapse. This has to collapse. This cannot be the thing that propels you forward, and it's not going to open your heart. There just needs to be a very huge shift in the way that you are presenting yourself and the way that you interact with the world around you, the space around you, and what you think is possible. You can't continue to like be an impasse at like a standstill mentally, you know, like swords crossed, like on guard. I always think of that with, I'm so sorry. And I also see like, I can't see, I'm blind. Yeah. You cannot be willfully blind, willfully ignorant. Do you hear how that came out? Willfully ignorant. You just see where it is that you are lacking and how it is that you need to move forward, because it's what you want. It's literally what it is that you want. It's what's going to get you to this happiness, this Ten of Cups, this justice, this lovers. Peace to your lovers and friends. Was that it was the Two of Swords. Now we have the Eight of Swords. That's what I'm going to take now. Lovers and friends. Could be a song for you. Lovers and friends. Lover. Let's quickly, because I don't want this to turn into too long. Quickly. Energy of the person in your heart space. This is not supposed to be a love reading, but we know that every reading of mine is slick a love reading. Someone's coming to terms with something. Judgment, Nine of Wands. Ooh. Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles. This does remind me of the energy. This feels like the counterpart to the reading I did yesterday, of a person kind of as I randomly was like, let's get into that energy real quick. Two of Cups at the bottom of the freaking deck. Are you kidding me? Of a person like understanding their morals, their values, right? Especially here with the Lovers out. What is going to be necessary? What they need to do, what they need, their part, the role they play in this, and how they need to kind of persist. And I said even in that reading that normally I read the Four of Pentacles as conserving, like a very constricting energy. But here it's kind of like understanding what it is that you hold sacred, especially with this Judgment and this Nine of Wands, and kind of standing on that. Very much stand on business energy. And I hate that phrase, but it's very stand on business energy. And that was strength there. The Lion and the Lamb. Twilight feeling, Twilight themes. But also a little bit of BDSM, right? Sadism, masochism, the exchange of that. But also just, that was the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, which, I mean, those came out in that reading. So I do feel like this is, go watch that reading from yesterday, and the full reading is on my YouTube, link in bio, Fireheart Fairy. So we had Knight of Wands, we had Six of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands. Understanding what's like needed energetically, to create this equilibrium here, right? Like, because especially because we had Justice out, right? This is very much as above, so below, cause and effect, consequences sort of thing, universal order. Justice is very much like internally looking at your part in universal order. What is, you know, input, output, right? And how before it was unequal, imbalanced, a lot of disharmony, and was causing a lot of grief in their own energy. And how like now they're fired up, right? With the Knight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the what is that? Nine of Wands. A lot of Wands energy here. So on your end, it's a lot of Pentacle energy. You're focused more on the tangible, the 3D, right? And I talked about that with you at the beginning part of this reading. And for them, it's spiritually, it's energetically that they're shifting here, because justice is at play here for this union as a whole, and really for you in terms of what comes next for you. But there's like this judgment that is over their life at this time, that's ruling their energy, where they kind of have no choice. And I had strength sort of peeking out. They have no choice but to sit in this Nine of Wands energy, to not give up, to take a stand, right? And to see what it is that they value, go after it, hold on to it. But yeah, it would and how they're breaking their own heart, right? And what they need to release in order to stop that, in order to really facilitate their energy changing, and really rest in like being able to nurture themselves and nurture their own world. And I would even say for you, I think that's something they're growing into energetically, spiritually, and I would say that that's energy that you're kind of starting to sit in, or there's really the potential, right? Should you give up these wands? And as a matter of fact, I don't know what card that was, but that doesn't even count. This new moon in Sagittarius is in the third decan of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Saturn. And so the card here for this new moon is the Ten of Wands. It's saying what wand it is that you are going to kind of give up, but then also that one wand that you're gonna like have your Nine of Wands with, like stake your claim, like persevere on, and where you're gonna like, you know, lay your burdens down for a new beginning. And then I said that you were birthing something, Empress. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading. This was, I would say it was all over the place, but it kind of wasn't, because I actually went into this with the intention of it being more love focused, with the initial message of I mean, look, you love who you love, you feel how you feel, and it doesn't have to make sense, right? And it turned into something completely different, as it always does, right? When spirit gets to speaking. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had a wonderful new moon, brought in some beautiful manifestations for you. I just hope that you were able to bask in this beautiful energy. Love you so much. Have a wonderful night.